Anatolian Village Tales. Part 1, The Man Who Claimed to be a Descendant of the Prophet. The event happened before the 1980 coup, according to villagers. One winter night, a man entered a village coffeehouse in Yozgat. He wore a turban and shabby clothes. The villagers wondered how he could travel in such weather with so little protection. The man told them he was a descendant of the prophet and that he had the power to teleport. He even said that just 5 minutes earlier, he had been in Mecca. The villagers believed him and gave him an old house to live in. The village headman collected money and furnished the house, even renovating it completely. At that time, the village had no imam. The man offered to take the role, and the villagers accepted. He began preaching strange rules. Eating fish was forbidden, because Christians considered it sacred. Married couples were forbidden to sleep together on Fridays. Girls were forbidden to approach men. Listening to music was forbidden. Entering the mosque without his permission was forbidden. Visiting each other without his approval was forbidden. Naming a newborn without his consent was forbidden. Attending lessons given by a female teacher was forbidden. Writing with a red pen was forbidden. Solving crosswords was forbidden. Eating with a fork was forbidden, only wooden spoons were allowed. Eating French bread was forbidden, he claimed it was Christian bread. Women during menstruation could not stay in the same house as others. Women could not go to the city or work in the fields without a man. Lighting a candle after 9 p.m. was forbidden. Smoking indoors was forbidden. There were many other bans. The villagers obeyed because they believed he was holy. Later, when livestock disease spread in the village, they asked him for help. He gathered fathers of young girls and told them, "There is a girl among you who committed a great sin. You must find out who she is. Ask them kindly first, but if they do not confess, beat them." The men went home and beat their daughters. One girl, unable to endure, confessed that she was pregnant from jinn. In fact, she was truly pregnant, though still early. Her father dragged her to the imam, who claimed to expel the jinn. Strangely, after this event, the animal disease ended, which increased his reputation. Some even began calling him sheikh. Over time, he started abusing young girls, claiming to cure them from spirits. Some parents even brought their daughters voluntarily. One girl eventually ran to her aunt in the city, explaining everything. At first, the aunt did not believe her, but after seeing the bruises, she confronted the man in the village square, accusing him of being a fraud. The sheikh turned to the crowd and said, "Look. This is how devils and demons try to destroy our faith." The villagers, believing him, attacked the woman and drove her away. The aunt went to the gendarmerie and filed a complaint. Soldiers came to arrest him, but the villagers resisted, holding on to the sheikh and begging not to take him. The sheikh told them, "If they arrest me, the soldiers will die instantly, you will see." Finally, a religious officer among the gendarmes interrogated him and said, "This man doesn't even know proper Arabic. How can he be a sheikh or come from Mecca?" The villagers still refused to believe. Eventually, he was arrested and imprisoned. After the 1980 coup, he was released and never returned to the village. Some villagers still claim to see him in the mosque, even flying through the air. The story of a sad man. In the early 2000s, a young man named Abdurrahim, aged 20, married his childhood love, Fatma. They were poor and lived with his father, along with Abdurrahim's married brothers and their families. After a while, Abdurrahim was drafted into the army. He did not want to go and tried to avoid it, but eventually, he was caught and sent to serve. While in the army, he heard that Fatma was pregnant. Shocked, he asked how that could be, but his mother told him, "She became pregnant before you left. When you return, you will see your child." Trusting God's will, he accepted it and finished his service. When he came home, he noticed Fatma was depressed and distant. She insisted they move out, but Abdurrahim explained they had no money. Later, they had a second child. After giving birth, Fatma committed suicide by drinking pills. She left a note saying that both children's father was not Abdurrahim, but his own father. She also wrote that the mother and brothers knew. Devastated, Abdurrahim confronted his father, who denied everything. When Abdurrahim demanded a DNA test, his father refused. Soon after, Abdurrahim fell into deep despair, shot his father, and then killed himself. The children and surviving family later moved to Istanbul. Today, those children would be in their 20s. Part 3, If everyone is guilty, no one is guilty. In a village in Konya, there lived a widow named Ice. The villagers were secretly sleeping with her in exchange for money. The imam discovered this and tried to expel her from the village. She resisted, so the imam threatened the men, "If you don't drive her out, I will tell your wives." The villagers gathered, accused Ice of immorality, and banished her. Part 4, The Man Who Fought the Devil. In another village, people began dying and losing their sanity. Suddenly, a tall and handsome man appeared, claiming to be an angel. He said he could solve their problem, but demanded payment. He gave each villager a pouch and told them to fill it with all the gold they had, or else they would soon die. The villagers obeyed. The man then told them, "I will fight the devil tonight. But you must lock your doors after 6 p.m. and not leave until noon tomorrow. Do not speak to anyone." That night, the villagers heard sounds of fighting in the square, yelling, hitting, striking, lasting for hours. By morning, the man had vanished, along with all their gold.